I think the future of local news is probably it's more driven by looking at data from what people are actually looking for and interested in, because you have so much coming out of people's sort of interactions on their cell phones, and you have so much sort of trend data and information about what people are searching for in a certain area, why they're interested in a certain area. You'll see a sort of a lot of, if I drive by an area where there might be like a traffic accident or something, I'll want to Google that and find out more information, and then that can lead to an entire sort of investigation into why there isn't enough funding around a certain sort of like traffic stop. I mean, I'm just sort of pulling things off my head, but the idea is that there can be a lot more sort of consumer-driven news that's dictated more by what people are interested in, versus in the past when I think it was taken local news organizations a long time to sort of catch up to the bigger organizations that have a lot of technology around data, and so hopefully we'll see sort of a flip there. Right. Well, I think data is basically your best friend. This assumption before that we know our community, I mean, that takes you very, very far, but it's not going to get you to the next level in the ecosystem that we're in now. So at HuffPost, now This News, Washington Post, places like that, we paid a huge amount of attention to what people were actually looking for and what they were interested in, while also obviously leading the charge with bringing them new stories that they didn't even know would exist unless we had written about it. So you have to constantly sort of balance the stuff that people don't know versus what people want to know. I mean, there's all sorts of, well, first of all, you have so many tools with social media. You can look at like local Twitter searches and see what people are actually tweeting about, and if there's a certain amount of activity around a certain location, that there could be a story there. Instagram is great. Like, if people are taking photos of one particular area all the time, there's a story there. So that's sort of where the public stuff is, and then obviously like there's Google API data that you can sort of tap into more, and you need a data person to look at that. But there's more and more of these people are coming of age now. So yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff is publicly accessible. You just need to essentially hire the right people to formulate it for you and to make sense of it for you. But a lot of it is very sort of it's anecdotal as well. I mean, we all now know how to use social and location data with social. So, and there have been attempts, by certain news organizations, like Every Block was formed about 5 years ago, and I think it's no longer really. I think NBC sort of consumed it, and then we haven't heard much about it since then. But there have been initiatives to really try to hone in on local news this way. I would say no data is too small for even, no data is too local. Let's put it that way. I mean, people like to look at data. People always talk about big data because they think of these sort of big aggregate numbers that they can extrapolate and build big products around and be game changers. But you really pay attention to, sometimes the smallest pieces of data can lead to the biggest stories. So.